In this episode, the Doctor gets hands-on learning sign language.
My name is a doctor.
I'm really impressed. Normally, it takes on average about 7 years to become fluent in sign language. Well done.
Thanks to some new high-end kit.
Action!
The stunt team are flying.
Spot on.
Why am I wearing shorts in a quarry on a freezing February night shoot?
You do know we live in Wales, right?
And spoiler alert, we've got an exclusive clip from the next episode.
Welcome to Doctor Who Unleashed.
Well, have you come out from behind the sofa yet? No, me neither. But get ready for an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at the spine-tingling The Well. And if you don't want spoilers, then maybe do this.
No, please, no, stop, no.
Don't tell me.
Don't show me, please. I don't need to know.
Ready? In this episode, the Doctor faces an unseen alien life force on a killing spree. But the beating heart of The Well is Alice, a character who we never 100% trust.
What did you do? What did you do?
Just standing there!
So, get back!
But who still manages to pull our emotional heartstrings.
There's something behind me all the time. Now, please, help me.
A very difficult balancing act to pull off, but the formidable Rose Ayling-Ellis nails it.
I'm really angry at her because her performance was so beautiful. It was so stunning.
That's what I do every single day.
And I was like, this is just a wasted performance that I'm giving. I was blown away by her talent.
Can you take me home?
I don't know how Rose did it because she was operating on 3 levels. To sign and speak at the same time is very difficult. And then to also have like in your head what you need to be doing as your character. I was like, that's so much to have in your head. And she just does it effortlessly.
Did you enjoy it when you got to read the script for the first time?
Yeah, it made me so excited because it's such a great character. It's such a complicated moment. It's a bit scary, it's a bit spooky. I love that she's hiding what she doesn't really want to tell, but she didn't really have a choice.
Yeah.
And that just got me so excited.
A lot of your work before has been like on stuff, you know, like obviously EastEnders, being a sitcom and your theatre work. Is this the first time you've really done something like sci-fi like this, where we're in like a mining centre and an internet on a planet, that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I'm actually having the best time ever because of that video.
Yeah.
I mean, the attention to the detail, my costume, the space state, it's really hard to act really sad when I actually deep down. I'm so excited for everything I do. It's just amazing. It really is.
What did you see?
BSL consultant Sarah Lawrence was brought in to support Rose, the cast and the crew.
For people who don't know what your role is today, tell us, what are you doing here?
I'm here, well, it's really interesting actually, because in Doctor Who, in the script, the character of the Doctor, actually signs, and there's also a deaf character in this episode. So my job has been to teach the Doctor how to sign, and while being on set, whilst they're recording, to make sure that signing is right.
On-set communication with Rose and much of her interaction with the Doctor was signed. That gave the cast and crew the opportunity to learn some BSL, British Sign Language.
Before we started filming, we did a deaf awareness course, which was really important, just to ensure that we understand the barriers that are in place when you are communicating with somebody who's deaf. For example, facing them when you're talking, don't just suddenly turn away.
Yeah.
Understanding how to work with an interpreter as well. And also there's been, it's quite a unique process that you don't come across every day if you are working with a deaf person. Just integrating those processes into working on set, it is completely different.
You learn stuff about the prejudices. There's moments when people turn their backs on Alice, and so they're deliberately shielding their lips from her, which makes her angry.
Don't turn your back on me. Please, don't turn your back on me.
Which is all very true. That's true, a real lived, authentic deaf experience. So we had Rose go through the entire script, and we actually had notes off her of course corrections of how to do things, how to phrase things, how to say things exactly.
Hi there. My name is a doctor. So I got the chance to learn BSL, which was amazing, and I think just such a more effective, beautiful, intentful way of communicating. You have to really commit yourself to communicating to who you're talking to. Was that okay? I did this, and I did name with 2 fingers.
I'm really impressed. He very quickly learned sign language because normally it takes on average about 7 years to become fluent in sign language. So, and he was learning to stand after he'd finished shoot when he was already so tired. Well done.
I've never connected with another actor like this. This is such a different level of communication, and it's really beautiful. Why am I getting emotional?
He's going to become like a deaf icon because he's starring Name Me the Doctor. The deaf community would go mad over that, I think.
The Well saw the Doctor revisiting the scene of an iconic Doctor Who episode.
What is this planet called?
6767.
The old name. 400,000 years ago, what was the planet called?
It was called Midnight.
I've been here before.
Back in 2008, the 10th Doctor took a tourist trip on the planet Midnight, a beautiful but airless death trap covered in diamonds. Here, the passengers and crew and all the watching Whovians were terrorised by an unseen entity. Fast forward 400,000 years, and the 15th Doctor is back. The planet has been renamed 6767, all the diamonds have been mined, but that entity is still lurking.
Have you ever heard of the planet? What? I thought I saw.
But what's going on, Russell?
It's the sequel no one ever expected, and it's the kind of episode you should never do a sequel to, so that's where we went, frankly, right to that.
The interesting thing for me was that I watched that episode, and there are 2 things that are similar about Midnight.
Did you just...
One is that it's the same monster, even though he's sort of morphed.
What did you see?
Just there, that ridge. Like a shadow, just for a second.
What sort of shadow?
It's behaving slightly differently. It messes with you. It plays games.
Why are you repeating?
Why are you repeating?
Another thing about Midnight is it's also a bottle episode in the sense that it's all set in the one small space, and within that are a bunch of people and the monster.
I can guarantee you everything's fine.
The creature in Midnight was only ever heard, not seen. In The Well, it gets physical and deadly.
To me, this is the scariest monster that I've faced so far. I just think the way that Russell wrote it was terrifying, but really beautifully descriptive, but just an implication. It's your complete own interpretation as to what this monster actually is.
Oh, yes.
Oh, gosh, just reading it was very, like, it put shivers down your spine. The monster's grown, the monster has learned, the monster has, has been waiting for, a chance to get out and cause trouble. So I loved that it was, a bit of a continuation from Midnight.
The elements kind of said to me, it's a mining planet, and it's deserted, and it's deadly, and it's poisonous, and there's something hidden, as people have disappeared. All those scary things are in place.
This one's got a broken neck.
So that all just kind of demanded. It said, actually, don't try to pretend this is something else. This is the same planet.
The one big difference between Midnight and The Well is that in the former, everyone was stuck inside a static space bus. But in the latter, they're free to run around like action heroes.
So is this what superhero V would look like? This is quite superhero-ish, isn't it?
It's so superhero-ish. It's actually kind of more like my bread and butter, especially after doing a lot more action things.
Yeah.
So when I put it on, I was like, I'm home. Actually, I had to kind of actively be like, no, this is Belinda, not other characters that I've played.
Characters that I may or may not have played in other franchises in the past.
That's also from Disney, yes.
Yeah, those ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the first day or something when we were running, it was very like action hero, and I was like, no, wait, I have to be a little bit more normal person.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
That's cool.
it's been. I love this. I love this outfit. Except going to the loo, going for a wee is.
Oh, is it?
It's very difficult.
I won't go into details, but it takes some time, does it?
It takes time. There's so many attachments and zips, and I was just, I need 3 people to. I need an entourage just to help me unclip and unzip.
That's just you in normal life. That's got nothing to do with the costume whatsoever.
It's actually just what I've written in my contract now.
Camera set. And action.
It's the 1st of February 2024, and in classic Doctor Who fashion, we're in a quarry in the night time. And yes, it is freezing cold. Some things just naturally belong together. Strawberries and cream, fish fingers and custard, the Doctor and quarries. For over 60 years, these rugged halls have been the go-to Doctor Who backdrop for a far-flung alien world. And tonight, this quarry just outside Bridgend in South Wales is about to become
Ncuti's first quarry. It's kind of something you inevitably do.
Who is your commanding officer back at base?
And frankly, it's a Doctor Who homeland. It always works. So I like the fact also this is a mining planet. So it should look like a quarry. The whole surface used to be diamonds and now been mined. So you're not pretending this is a rocky planet. It's actually been mined. So that takes the edge off the quarryness of it. Yeah, love it.
Good.
Tonight we're filming the scene where Vi and Ncuti, they've landed on the planet.
Oh, my God. Life with you.
I know.
It's very atmospheric here. I've never been in a quarry before.
Nice, quiet.
Everybody's just setting up now. At the moment, they're talking through with the rest of the actors who play the troopers, talking through the scene with the director and the director of photography and everything over there. Oh, look at the helmets. Have you seen those helmets? That is way cooler than I was thinking it would be. Every one of the troopers has got their own person because they've got like all the boxes there. Each box is for a specific helmet, so they don't get mixed up or lost or whatever, because they've been made especially for each of the different actors. Every time they show cut, they are fast getting in there because it's cold, so they're getting those big coats on them to keep them warm. So it's a busy old quarry tonight. And with so much going on down here, it's a perfect opportunity for me to dive in and learn about another role in the TV industry. For my work experience this episode, I'm joining trainee grip Rhys. Well, thank you very much for having me along.
That's right.
I guess the first place to start is, what's your job here today?
So I'm a grip trainee.
Yeah.
Anything the camera goes on, we supply that and we set it all up.
Cameras can be attached to tripods, dollies and cranes, and tonight I'm going to help Rhys lay a dolly track.
2 little track joiners. So they join the track, they go on the little bits.
Tidy.
See if we can work that one out.
Does this like go in hole
So
or
first
something?
of all...
Oh no, hang on, they clip on those?
They join those bits, so we're going to join the track
okay.
together.
Yeah.
There you go, and then you can tighten them with that. If
Oh,
they
I
don't
see.
stretch,
Okay, so they're on, so that stops it from like slipping and sliding away, right?
But that's not tight at the minute, see how loose that is?
Yeah.
And there's a little gap in the track. And the dollies are so sensitive, you'll feel that little bump.
Even the tiny little gap
Even the
that
tiniest little bump. So yeah, you've got to, other way. Just got to make sure that's...
Right.
So they're tight in there now. The next step now is to level it.
Okay.
So with leveling, or start at the high end.
What is it about being a grip that attracted you to do that job?
I think from a young age, I've always wanted to be hands-on and doing stuff. And then later in life, I developed that love for film and TV, and I was like, right, okay, that's something to do. Is there any way I can put 2 and 2 together? So I went to uni, studied film and TV.
Yeah.
I didn't really learn what a grip was in uni, but I did my own research and thought, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So went and did that for 2 weeks, and then, I got a job straight away and been doing it ever since, really. Every day of my job is different, and that's what I love about it. Like, you see people going to offices, they're sat down on the same desk, the same computer. Here, like, when do you get to come to quarry in the middle of the night? So thankful that I've fell into this. Bring it up there.
Yeah.
And then that's not far off.
That's
now.
pretty good. That's pretty
so
good.
So then, if you pass me that wedge,
yeah,
it's a different job to everything else.
Yeah.
And you know, if you didn't work in the industry, you wouldn't understand what we do.
Yeah.
It's quite hard to explain that to people sometimes. Pressure there, and that's bang on across.
Nailed
now.
it. But it's really important, right? Because obviously you've got all the jazziest cameras in the world, all the most experienced directors. If the camera doesn't stay on something, then it can't work, right?
No. The camera is always on something which we have to use. We have to do those jobs, you know what I mean? Like the dolly and stuff like that. We have to push it for the camera to move, for them to achieve that certain type of shot, or swing the crane to achieve, you know, the kind of different angles they need or whatnot. So it's always like you're always hands on, always. Yeah.
What have you got on tonight? I know you've got one crane now, but what have you got? What else is going on for you tonight?
They're currently setting up a B camera shot, so we've got a dolly ready on standby.
So dolly, is that basically a camera on wheels?
Yeah, essentially. All right, boys.
As the trainee grip, Rhys is tasked with a range of jobs, from moving equipment and heavy lifting to more important stuff like taking the team's food orders.
Lamb, dauphinoise potato.
How do you spell dauphinoise?
But I've got one burning question about the job.
There's an elephant in the room as well, Rhys.
Okay.
We're the only 2 people here in shorts.
Yes, we are.
And I was told that I had to wear shorts to come work experience. What are we doing? It's February. It's the middle of the night. There's a vicious wind.
It's part of the uniform. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it's in the industries. Yeah, it's gripped uniform that it's like shorts all the time.
You do know we live in Wales, right?
Stand by.
Still to come on Doctor Who Unleashed. The stunts team take flight. I unmask the real midnight creature. And spoiler alert, we've got an exclusive clip from the next episode. But first...
Helmets!
Accompanying the Doctor and Belinda on Planet 6767 was an 11-strong trooper unit.
I loved having them around. It was so much fun when there's like a gang to hang out with. It gives you that extra boost of energy.
Oh, it's just been everything and more. I'm such a big fan of the show. I've come in as like
she's so much fun to work with.
I am actually such a huge fan of the show. And I came in as a fan and I'm leaving as a bigger fan. Yeah.
All of the troopers we sent to Trooper Boot Camp.
Now, squad, shoot!
That whole element of the way they move, the way they come around corners, all of the protocol was all drilled into them by this ex-military guy who was on set with us. That was really fun for them to be able to bond on that military boot camp, but then also take that behaviour through.
Fantastic.
Then no sooner than they finished all that bonding and drill training, the creature starts taking them out.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, this, because it's the most brutal episode. There are nasty deaths in this. Actually, and there were dead bodies from the moment they entered that base. And we had a lot of conversations about, keep those bodies turned away from the camera. Don't make the bruises too great. Some of them been shot.
This one is laser fire.
So we're in a funny territory between acceptable deaths and non-acceptable deaths, which is flying through the air, propelled by a psychic force is somehow acceptable. The snapping of the bones, the thwack on the floor. You want a bit of that, you want the visceral pleasure of that, but actually you need to go easy on it as well. So actually, this is careful. There's 6-year-olds watching this.
All of the stunts needed to be carefully choreographed by stunt coordinator Derek and Max from the Wire team. To complicate things further, everything had to revolve around a very particular concept. In the script, Russell pinpoints each character's position in relation to Alice and the unseen creature, as if they were hours on a clock face.
So I definitely did not understand it when I read the script. I read that whole sequence as it being like, oh wow, that's really scary, loads of people die.
I kind of went, okay, well, we'll do that on the day. We'll get to that. That's not my business, really. I don't have a clue.
Still confused? Let's have Belinda explain it again.
It's like this. If this is Alice, and this is us, facing her now,
There is something behind her. And if you go behind it, you die.
If it was a clock face, you die at midnight.
I have to say it took a while to get into my brain, but when we had rehearsal with Amanda, she actually had a drawn-out clock face with little toy soldier figures, so we actually understood what was going on and who would be flying where, who would be landing where. Yeah.
When you see it done, it's absolutely genius.
With the action routine mapped out, that meant Derek and Max could get to work. First thing, test the different wirings to be used for each stunt.
Yeah, keep that under tension. As soon as you start the ride, then bring it to life.
Next, prepare the nitrogen ratchet system. Seriously, I'm not making this up. It's used for fast acceleration and power.
Right, stand by. In 3, 2, 1, action! Spot on. So what we're trying to achieve now is just the last bit more energy going into the wall. Then I think we've got it nailed. But if you sort of shot that right down the line, you'd get away with that anyway. All right, well done, mate. All that's brilliant. It brings it to life.
Now it's time to try out the digital 4-point wire rig. This allows the team to pre-program repeatable and accurate flight paths into a computer.
We haven't used the winch system on Doctor Who before, but when this sequence came up, and it was Max's idea, to be honest, and he's just said it'd save so much more time if we used that system. Each wire has its own winch, so the same 4 wires can do every single person all around the set. So you don't have to keep moving rigs and changing wires, and then if people do change their mind, and they want someone to start 2 foot nearer or 2 foot further back, it's easier to do than if they were on a conventional wire system.
Tests over, it's on to the real thing. Principal photography on the episode finished yesterday, so the stunt team can now take their time working through the long list of shots that they still need for the clock sequence.
3, 2, 1, action!
Because we're using the winch system and we rehearsed it and we've dialed everything in, this makes this so much easier. We just built it up slowly with sort of speed-wise, but they're landing in the same place every time.
I just love how it's been computer programmed, all the wire, so that they lift up in the exact same place and land at the exact same place. And it looks so gentle to land that their feet just go like that.
The last shot to get before the day wraps is a point of view angle from one of the flying troopers.
Here we go, shooting, and 3, 2, 1, action! Ah!
Not quite as high-tech technology as we used to, but it did look very good. It's him flying through the air holding a GoPro is quite cool.
Oh, that's excellent. Yeah, really good work. Really good work.
Oh.
Yeah. It's great. It's excellent.
The Whoniverse prides itself on the fact that many of the baddies the Doctor encounters are physical, live-action characters. Not only are these creatures testament to the skills and talents of the teams who bring them to life, they're also invaluable for giving the actors something to react to.
What the hell?
But how do you get the cast in the right frame of mind when the foe is never seen? Well, you give a fright mask to unleashed regular Paul Casey and tell him to go and scare the pants off him.
There's always that chance that there could be a shadow somewhere on a wall, or you may get a very small glimpse of him, but you never actually see him.
Yeah.
So their reaction should be real,
Right.
right? Because there is something there. And don't get me wrong, I'm going to go all out to scare them. Absolutely, yeah.
To kind of help get Rose in that headspace, I had Paul Casey right behind her, and Rose was immediately like, oh, it was so creepy.
Thank you. With a green tree, you rely a lot on imagination. Oh, behind you, there's something there. But for him to actually wear a mask and come up, it worked. So it did me, okay, this is what Alice is experiencing.
First bit of interaction in, Paul.
She was definitely like freaked out by it.
That's the idea, though.
That's what's living behind it.
Yeah.
Luckily, Paul's a mate now, so he wouldn't try to scare me. But I am keen to find out if any of the Who crew have had any weird or spooky experiences.
When I was very young, I woke up at night and saw lights outside my window.
Did you?
Yeah. It was definitely coming from above. And
Oh.
In my bedroom, this is when I was a teenager, I just had the distinct feeling that there was a person in the room. But it was so strong, that feeling, that I was like, I'm actually too scared to open my eyes and look.
When I was a little kid, we went to Special Secret Bunker over in Dover.
Yeah.
And I turned around and I thought I saw someone in an army uniform, and I was like, oh, that's cool, they've got people dressed up here. So when I spoke to one of the people that works in the front desk, I was like, oh, is there people dressed up here, like walking around? She said, no. And I was like, oh. She said, you're the only people in the tunnels. And I was like, oh, okay, cool.
It was like around mid-morning, I remember, because I checked my phone, it's like 6 a.m. It was the weekend, why am I waking up?
Why are you up at 6 in the morning?
Time? But like, I just felt like my whole body sort of like seized up. And then something with like almost like a claw, like try and claw up my face. And then like, I just woke up immediately after that, and I was like, that is really creepy.
So basically, I woke up in the middle of the night, I went to the toilet, and I left my door open so you could see it in my hallway.
Yeah.
And then on the side, there was like a wooden boat that was decoration, and I saw it move across. And then I sort of went, no, stop. I put the light on, and it just stopped, in a different spot. I got so scared, I ran into bed and I hid. And then I felt someone was like pushing it down to my back, like lying down my back.
Like this.
And then I felt the clicking in my sort of across me. And I thought, it's my brain playing trick, my brain playing trick. Then I did research about it the next day, and apparently when you shut your eye, and because I'm deaf, your brain starts using other senses to try and make sense of the environment.
Right.
And I think because I woke up in the middle of the night, my eyes started playing trick on me.
Oh, it was a ghost.
No. Right, bye-bye.
Thankfully, despite all the scary stories and weird experiences, I've managed to navigate the day without getting scared at all.
I've been practicing my dive fall. I've been practicing how I land.
Are you going big?
I am. I'm trying my best to just...
Oh my goodness me. Don't do that to me, Paul. You horrible man. No. Stop that. I can't go with this. I'm off. Goodbye. This wasn't in my contract. Oh, the movements are just... It's so
Is this the movements that makes it creepy?
Did I get you? You did get me. Good. Trying to keep together. This is the... Hands that we're going to show. Bye, Paul.
Next time on Doctor Who.
This week, I found someone who knows its secrets. In fact, she's even been inside it, and I'm going to ask her to introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ruby Sydney.
Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel.